Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Iren. It is time for another update, and in the case of this stock we have a very interesting structure in place, one that even implies opportunity. Well, here on this chart, the exact structure from a larger time frame perspective is actually not that clear. There are a few options that could technically remain. Well, I would really only focus on a couple at this point though. So previously I have been considering for it to be possible, in the case of this stock, to actually be building a more direct wave 3 to the upside, within an impulse even. But it seems that this structure, while it didn't fail to hold the internal levels of support for the idea of a wave 4 correction in something like a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5, the proportions for the actual wave 4 seem to have gotten out of hand. So my options currently rather focus on either this being a larger leading diagonal, meaning that this wave 1 would have been only within a 3-wave pattern, then I would have had the same 3 waves of course within the wave 2 correction, but now within the wave 3 I am looking for an ABC structure to complete the overall pattern. Perfectly valid scenario. I would still prefer to look for the ideal target for the wave 3 in the case of this structure, and that would remain at around $230, the 138.2% extension of the wave 1. That's still in play, nothing has really changed here. Well, the other option would actually imply something more bullish rather than bearish, and it would imply looking for this to have actually been a wave 1 complete, where I would still be tracking an impulse. I would have a double 1-2 setup, and the wave 3 would currently be ongoing. Well, that's actually quite nice. I could expect significantly higher prices in terms of this expectation. I would be looking for it to head towards $1,300. Yeah, it may be a bit unrealistic. I wouldn't be particularly confident that it will succeed in forming this pattern, and if it does, it can be expected to take some time. Now, the beautiful part is that regardless of the large time frame structure, I am tracking the same pattern internally, because within the smaller time frame, I am able to identify an initial 5-wave move to the upside within the area of an impulse. It would have in place something like a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5, which allows me to look for a 1-2 setup, which allows me to expect with high probabilities that after a 3-wave correction into the support zone between $51.5 down to $36.9, I can expect continuation to higher prices within at least another 5-wave pattern, even if it doesn't succeed in building this idea of a wave 3, right? Now, in all honesty, in both of the larger time frame scenarios, expectations, however you want to call them, I am actually looking for the 5-wave pattern, so I would primarily expect to build an impulse within this structure. So we have the setup, we have the initial 5-wave move up, we have the area of support, we are looking for the 3-wave correction, and all we really need to do is decide whether we want to participate in this setup or not. Now, in the internal structure, technically, I could actually consider the wave 2 to have potentially even bottomed. And I already see a few nice bounces from even the first level of support, 3 in fact, 1, 2 and 3. And technically, yes, I could consider this correction to be done. It has fulfilled the minimum expectations, although personally I do have to prefer the likelihood of a reset within this wave 2. It's simply that the wave 2 in this interpretation would have been a bit short. I would strongly prefer for this stock to be building a larger ABC pattern, where I'm actually quite satisfied with what has already happened within this wave B. In fact, if I go into an even smaller time frame, I am able to identify a pretty decent expanded flat correction in an ABC pattern. So in terms of the overall expectations in this structure, this wave B could extend higher. Frankly, I do not really care, but the pattern has fulfilled its expectations. I can consider 5 waves up within this as a wave C, I can consider 3 waves up within this as a wave B, and it has gotten rejected at a 61.8% retracement. All is good here. Now, in terms of the ideal target for the wave C, I would be looking out for the 100% extension of the wave A, and that sits at $45.60, right below the 50% retracement, right below this structural support level, which is a quite compelling area to look for a more substantial bottom. It is actually decently common to bottom in the wave 2 in the region of the lower degree wave 4. What is this? Yes, it is a wave 2. What is this? It is a lower degree wave 4. So this is the general area, especially I would be looking for a bottom within. And this is not a prediction. It doesn't need to even perfectly reach those levels. It doesn't need to stop there, but I do notice that we have some significant structural support in this area. And actually, this entire region, even below that, is filled with previous significant lows that have been formed before pretty substantial movements to the upside. So these are levels where the buyers have been stepping in continuously. And even though it ultimately led to actually heading to lower prices, it doesn't mean that the buyers, that the bulls, cannot succeed in the second attempt to form a higher low. And for now, there actually isn't much else to add. I could probably provide to you one internal area of support where we could be looking for an extension of this wave B, where it could form that one additional high. But I do warn you that this is within a very small time frame and it is going to be fragile, where if I see a break below $58, it would be my early indication that the wave B would have a top in, that it is more likely that the wave C would have already started. But to be honest, even if we actually go ahead and form this one additional high, nothing would really change from my perspective. I would still be looking for this to be a complete wave C with just a simple extension. And in the end, it is within a very small time frame, and I wouldn't overthink or impose that this structure actually needs that one additional high before starting the larger wave C correction. And for now, we will stop here. These are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. And if you enjoyed the content and want to support it directly, check out the channel membership. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.